So, hello once again to the latest episode of the Burning Podcast. It is me, Pastor Jesse, and I am back again. And as always, it's a special guest. And today I'm bringing you a friend of mine who I met a couple years ago, and he's a real cool guy. And when he begins to speak, you can't help but feel inspired. And it is Antonio. Antonio, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for finally having me on.
Yeah. It's been a long time coming, So, Antonio, we're just gonna go back and just talk a little bit about how we met, and it was through Janae, and it's through her great initiative of Hugs, and then the creation of Hubs. Since there was so many of us guys there, and that was really exciting for me to be a part of. I really enjoyed it, and since then we've also did some other stuff with Hubs as well. So just talk to me about that and your impact in that area of Hubs as opposed to Hugs, because people concentrate on the girls but they forget the guys.
Guys is the important part. So in terms of Hubs, I think that we came in and we did a lot of great work together, and instantly we clicked. Instantly was like, oh my goodness. And for me personally, I always look for speakers. Like I always scout. I always say, okay, who's doing this, who's doing that. And when I first found you, I was like, this guy is going where?
Yeah.
Pakistan. I said, wow, okay, this is amazing. Like he's actually doing the work.
Yeah.
And usually when you see somebody who's doing the work, they come with an ego. They have the cloak of, hey, this is who I am. But your humbleness and you would have never guessed it.
Yeah.
You would have never guessed it. Like what blew my brain was, I don't know if you remember, but he had on a particular shoes, a white shoes. And a child was like, what type of shoes is that? And you're like, yeah, this is me. And you telling them that, and you're saying, well, I just came back into the country today.
Yeah. I remember that. Wow.
That is amazing to me. And we did a lot of great work. We taught schools, we hit the homes, and even anybody that we did interact with, show a little, and we always inspired. We always did a lot of great work. So that is something that we need to do more work.
Yeah, we need to do more work.
We need to do more work.
So, Janae, if you're watching this,
come on.
I know you're busy.
Yeah, man, let's do this. Let's do it. You ready?
Yeah. So, that was awesome. So, Antonio, we need your origin story. Every great character has a very good origin story. Right? So, what is AntonioMayers' origin story? How do you get into to be where you are today?
Wow. All right. How long we have? Okay.
We have some time.
Yeah. Cool. So, AntonioMayers, who are my origins? As a child, a very sick child, a child who used to be in the hospital way too much times, a child who spent birthdays, a child who all the doctors would see me up to today, and I remember you as a baby because he was always here, 3, 4, 5. I remember you always missing school because you're my doctor. AntonioMayers is also I'm gonna jump into education one time, right?
Yeah.
As a child, I went to 2 primary schools, and this is very important for this episode today in terms of education.
Yeah.
I went to a public school, and then I went to a private. I went to a public government school, and then I went to a private school, a private Adventist school. In the public school, Antonio was a very shy, quiet guy, just there. He used to give a little mischief and thing with his friends, but shy and quiet.
Yeah.
In the private school, Antonio liked a teacher, and the teacher needed a lead actor for a play because the original person didn't come to school on time. And Antonio went onto the stage for the first time, and there Antonio became loud. Antonio started doing pan. Antonio started doing every single thing you could have imagined. When it comes to like concerts. Antonio had his own dressing room because Antonio doing the introduction, going and change, monologue, going and change, this, that, and that like sparked me into like who I am today. I am a brother, so being a big brother of 5 younger siblings is always that nurturing thing, always helping, always being involved, being like, so my family I came from a family of business people, so I was always outside. I was always doing something, whether it might be on the road with my dad, it might be with my aunt here, with my mom there. So it's always going. So it was never a dull moment.
Right.
Or never a dull moment, which is why, like, I think it prepared me for what's happening now.
Yes.
Because even now within my life, in terms of academy, in terms of school, in terms, it's always going. So yeah, I think that is my upbringing there.
Right.
That's my upbringing. And to go into this education thing, let's tap into it one time. From being a quiet, shy guy to being this who I am today in terms of the mixture of the both.
Right.
Friends, a good friend group was a major part, because the school was an adventure school, and we always did a lot of things with God, a lot of things with like boosting your confidence. You can't do this.
Yeah.
And for me, what resonated with me, how I became so fearless, is the same God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the same God that did this for David. Yeah. This is the same God who will do this for me. Why be scared? Like, go. Yeah. Go attempt everything that you want to attempt, even if it might seem scary, even if you might be a child amongst adults. Like I was, back to my origin again. I joined a company called The Mad Company, Drama Making a Difference. And I was the first child there. At that point, they was only accepting adults. And I was in Form 1.
Wow.
Everybody were big man and big woman. I'm coming home 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock every 2 days in the week. Wow. Because I'm interacting with them, and they also pouring in things into my life. I'm in the after rehearsals doing homework in the maxi. Right. Reaching 10 o'clock. Like that is a big part of how I am today. And Pap, primary school. Being a part of that space in terms of where we focus so heavily on God, because every morning was Bible reading or Bible games or chapel. Those things, it really helped me to be who I am, and also like having the confidence to let us attempt this, and also knowing to like trust in the Lord in every single thing, because even though I might want to say I can do this, I am Antonio. This strength is not for me. This strength is not for me at all. So it helps a lot. It helps a lot.
So coming out of that, and being in that environment, because all kids going into teenagers, there's distractions, there's things to pull you away from the right things, so what was that like, facing distractions and people want to pull you into doing things that are not godly, obviously. So what was that like?
What I should say is that I've never experienced that at all, and I never went through any not once. That's what I should say, right? No, I experienced it. And I came from so joining secondary school, we was not under the cloak of the same set of friends, even though I would want to mention the same friends that I had from primary school. We went to the same secondary school, to the same Form 6, to the same university, up to 11 o'clock last night. I was there by them doing work and chopping it up. So the friend group was still there, which is, I think, thank God for them. But we joined a new school, a new space, a new environment. Hey, come on, do this now. All right. Let's give it a try. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I think that what would happen is that sometimes I would be led to do bad things. Like I remember, we seeing this boy. I remember there was a point in time where I would have stole from like my classmates and stuff like that. Crazy stuff. Christmas class party. Everybody bring their toys. Everybody bring their things. And I am looking at this guy. Oh, look at this 3DS. This is so nice, boy. You know what? Let me do this. Everybody was taking things from all of my friends. We all took things, who hide it here, who hide it there. And school had closed the other time. And I remember during the vacation, I just watching it and I just feeling the conviction. I'd gotten away with it. Nobody know I have it.
Yeah.
And I was just feeling the conviction. I messaged the guy, I said, bro, I'm so sorry. I have it. Look. And I think that, so making mistakes, I think I would have definitely made it.
Yeah.
But having the background of God and feeling that conviction, it's things that would have definitely played a part.
Right.
So throughout my life, like I got baptized in Form 4 when I started playing music for my church, and I would say then as well, like the only same time where I got baptized is where I would call it the dark era, because the amount of things that started happening after I got baptized.
Yep. And just to cut you there a second, people, when you get baptized, you have to understand it is like it's a public proclamation of your devotion to God, your love to God, to show that, hey, my life represents God. So the enemy does not like that. So that is when the attacks come more after, as Antonio is going to delve in just a little bit into what happened after.
So, boom, get baptized because you want to start a play. You want to become more involved in the church. I grew up in church. Let's do this. You need to make this other step. You need to make this commitment. I go, cool, no problem. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Be crossing over it very quickly. I got suspended from school. My name publicly was not good. This and all of those things were situations that just I realize now that it was meant to happen because of like the career development that it would have brought me.
Yes.
And the understanding of you need to lean your attention onto God, because at that point as well, even though I did just get baptized, I was feeling very much. It was just a hard time. It really and truly was just a hard time because they're going through so much changes, things going on in school. They have all of the distractions. Oh my gosh, girls there, girls there, girls everywhere. And I think that God was really the one to pull me through, because even though those things happen, I am unscathed. I am stronger. I'm better. And that's why I would tell anybody that any terrible situation that you face, any bad situation, is not to break you, but to build you up. So now I'm thankful for those things. I'm thankful for the lessons that I would have learned. I'm thankful for how I would have developed and become better. But to anybody watching this is not to discourage you from becoming baptized at all.
No.
But when you do, be prepared.
Yes.
Because it is going to come. It is definitely going to come. And what my challenges might be wouldn't be yours. And what you are facing, I might look at it as it's so simple for you, but we all have our own challenges. We all have our own pitfalls and downfalls. So it will happen. It is inevitable. But so face it and face it with God.
Yeah. And I just want to add on to that. It was, as you said, it was preparing you to, because here's the thing about it is that you can't share a testimony if you don't have a test. If you didn't pass a test, then it's just a money. There's no testimony. So you have to go through the test. You have to, and it doesn't matter. And here's the thing about it, and I always say this: it doesn't matter age. We all develop and we all grow and we all face challenges at different times in our lives. So even me in at my age and you at your age could give motivation or give strength or give a testimony to older people, right? Because of the experiences we have faced, and as well as younger people. So even coming out of that, I just want to put in there heart condition. Right, no matter what you faced, God, saw your heart condition that you eventually one day wanted to help younger people, wanted to be in that lane so that people don't go through what you would have gone through.
Correct.
Yeah, that's always important. And I think back to David, no matter the foolishness David did, God still loved him.
Correct.
Because of David's heart condition towards God. The times we see in the Bible in Psalms and Samuel where David crying, God, sorry I did this, sorry I did that. And I personally could attest to that. even where I am today, I still am human.
Yeah,
I still
everybody,
make mistakes.
everybody
I still
does it.
sin, but it's my heart condition. What's my motive? That conviction. Once the conviction of Holy Spirit hits you, listen. You wanna rip off all your clothes and everything, but you're in public and you can't do that, right? And you could get charged.
In the bank,
Yeah, listen.
in the bank.
You hold it together. So, so let's talk about how you get into the motivation. What wanted you to be that person to get not just in front of a camera but in front of people to do that?
So from doing theater in primary school, that would have led me to join the Mad Company, which is Drama Making a Difference, where we always do like outreach work, always helping people, always like doing shows to help others, right? So I knew that, okay, I love to help others. And at some point I was thinking about career. What am I going to do with my life? Yes. So I started thinking, well, okay, I like to speak and I like money. So why not be a financial advisor? Yeah. I looked into it. I was like, not for me. Yeah. I was like, okay, I like sports. We love the football. Yeah. We like to talk. Why not be a sports commentator? Yeah. Every time you would sweat, I am talking the most. Gosh, wow, what a terrible pass, man. That is not what I want to do as well. I was like, okay, I love to be on stages. I love to help people. Yeah. Why not be a motivational speaker? Again, we tried it out. And from the first day, oh my gosh, I fell in love. Like it was that joy in terms of anything with the process, whether it may be talking to people, whether it may be recording a video, messing up a take and finally getting it, that joy of editing back and you're playing the beat. Oh, look, just like, you see the fact that I'm getting this reaction is how I know, okay, this is what I love to do and this is what I'm supposed to do. And also, from doing it, previously would have had on Antonio here, right? Antonio and I would have started speaking in our home. Yeah. And the amount of favor that came from that, because we would have went just as regular people, just to get your school hours. Before graduating, you have to go do some voluntary work, etc., etc. So we would go, and when you go in, I'm saying, I'm not going to just help you with your homework. Let's come and let's talk. Automatically, we met up, we connected with some people, blah, blah, blah. And so much so that we ran a summer program at the home. Right. So the home, they let us do, okay, this is your time, do whatever it is you want. So we play games, we speak to them, we this, we that, we tag team speaking together. We'd have so much fun. From there, again, favor started to come. Before I made a single video, I spoke at a ministry event for women in sports. Right. I'm not a woman. I do not play sports. Yeah. How am I getting there? How I end up in this position? Yeah. That's good. Before, when I started making videos as well, I saw some people online making it. As I said, I always look at other people in the same field. Yeah. And I messaged this guy and I was like, hey, bro, so where have you spoken? He never spoken a place before. What do you mean? Wow. You're making videos so long, I thinking you were this guy. Yeah. Wow, okay, Antonio, this is good. And the feeling that I feel, and the fact that, again, I just love to do it. And I know that this isn't anything artificially made, because I could do it at any time, whether it may be 11 o'clock in the night, 2 o'clock in the morning. Let's go. Let's go. So, that's how I got into it. And that's why, regardless of what, this is what I want to do with my life. Like, in terms of academy is academy. Cool. Yeah. But number one career, a motivational speaker. Yeah.
And do you have any like testimonies or any stories that you could share of somewhere you went to speak and kids came up to you or people came up to you after and said, wow, this is I feel really impacted by what you said? And
definitely I would go back to the home, because at the home is where we'd have spent a lot of time, and that's where we would have been learning the craft, trying out new things, experimenting. And from the work that we did there, there are still times where I'm walking the streets and children from the home. Yeah. Oh my God, Antonio. Yeah. I'm so thankful. Like, I remember a Christmas a couple of years ago, we had a little family get together at home. I'm seeing some strangers in front of my door. Who are these people? I don't know. So I'm coming out like, on guard, okay, I need to, who are you guys? Yeah. Not knowing one of them is the people from the home. Wow. Started breaking down, started talking to me. Yo, I really, really appreciate this, because where I was at that point, you really, really inspired me. And I look at what you do, and I see you, and I see how much you integrate God. I see how you integrate everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm doing better now because of that. Wow. I'm doing better now because of you. I've my bunks of people who they were older than me, but they were in the home.
Yeah.
You are married now. I'm working here. I'm doing so good in my life. And those are the things that is a direct resultant of the word. As a direct resultant of the work that we put in. Because there's one thing to have a talent.
Yeah.
And there's another thing to actually go out and use it. And you will never know who you will impact. You will never know, like, just for you. Much times there was a point in time where I lost all my social medias, right? And I didn't feel like speaking. And speaking became a task. I think I shared this with you.
Yeah, you did.
And from looking at you, bro, it would have charged me up so much. Yeah. Because I stopped creating content. I gave away so much things to give away. Oh, Mike, go. Yeah. What? Go. Take it. Yeah. And from seeing just like you, and I just want to tell you thank you here. Because your work helps me. And it helps up to today. It really, really, really does. You are a big inspiration to me, and I'm really glad to call you a contemporary. Really glad to call you about that. Honestly,
I don't know how to feel about that now. I feel awkward.
No.
Taking compliments is not something I'm accustomed to. But praise God, right?
Right.
Let's praise God and let's move on very quickly before you see a grown man cry. So Antonio, I just want to touch on, because that's an impact that it for you necessarily it's not tangible, right? Because you can't say, all right, carry that to the bank and say I impact this person's life, that kind of thing. But it's seeing, and when you're doing the work for God, it's more everlasting work. It's like, all right, I'm impacting this person to be and have a better life, so that and especially if you're in the ministerial field, whether you're an apostle, a pastor, a preacher, evangelist, whatever it is to ensure that these people get into heaven, because any day heaven and earth gonna pass away. All these tangible things will not matter, but how you have impacted people's lives, and then and leaving and sowing seeds for them, because it may not be that they receive Jesus. It may not be at that moment they take in God and all, and let's say you throw in a scripture or something, but you sow that seed into their life that later on they would remember and say, wait, now Antonio mentioned 1 Corinthians 7.
Probably not even Antonio.
Right?
I just remember I heard this.
Exactly. And it will, and then it would come where like, all right, yeah. And they're so low in their life, there's nothing else. I just need to receive God. And so I want to get into where you are right now with AntonioMayers Academy, because I find this is awesome, and it's something that I've looked around, and there's not a lot of what you are doing specifically. You see there's a few other academies around, but what you are doing specifically is, I find it's not just for you, but it's also you giving back. It's also you giving back to the young people, and listen, kudos to you and what you're doing, and I just see it going from strength to strength to strength, and even expanding, not only from mathematics, but I see you going into sciences and business and expanding into different fields. No, seriously, it's going to happen, and you're going to employ people, and it's going huge. But let's talk about where it is right now.
So right now we are at a great point. Honestly speaking, all glory to God. We are at a really, really, really great point where, number one, we have a great team. I have a great team of tutors there with me in terms of zero complaints. Zero. So all of you watching this, guys, thank you. I really do appreciate all of you. So right now we cater to 3 levels: primary, secondary, and CAPE, and skills. Right. Well, 4. So to prepare students for exam, we have students that's getting ready for SCA right now. At 10 o'clock last night, I finished adult CXC class. We have students preparing for CXC exam and for CAPE. So who's doing sociology, entrepreneurship, we have that avenue as well. Right now, we are at a point where we are pivoting into academy. So we started a music program where you can learn different instruments. So music, pan, guitar, piano, vocal training. Even as a musician, one of the things, a skill that you may lack is like ear training, learning to just identify a key based on however a singer sings. So you're learning those things as well. But the most important part for me about the academy is not those things. Anybody can learn maths, anybody can learn English. But it's the holistic development. Because when you come here, you will develop as a person. Because I will put you in situations and we will bring up things where it's like, okay, but there may be hypothetical situations. What would you do if somebody, I don't know, bounce your car? And you're late for a meeting. And that meeting is what you needed to get a lump sum of money to pay for your mother's health care. What would you do then? You'll be well upset. How are you going to deal with that? And we want to mold every single one of our students. And because I do the motivational speaking, I always pour that into our students. Because we do, again, we have adult teachers, right? Adult students. So like my oldest student, she is 36 years old. And being at that age, you still need it. You still need the motivation. You still need the, hey, you can do this. Hey, don't worry. You can't, like, it's your life. And you have one of it. So let's go. Let's make it happen. Let's push to the ultimate limit. And that is what I would say differentiates academy from other places. Because a lot of them, you are just a number in a class. You just come, okay, come. We're going to do circle theorem today. And when that circle theorem done, have a nice day. But here, if we see that, okay, you're not looking too good right now, we're going to come, we're going to talk, we're going to chop it up, we're going to make sure that you are okay mentally, you're ready to go. And move on. So that is what academy is about.
Right. So before we close and before we wrap up, I just want to touch back on that and the importance of the adults as well, because there's a large population in Trinidad that people didn't finish school.
Correct.
And the thing about it is that they've always wanted to go back to finish their education, whether it is be from as low as the SEA level, CXC, CAPE, whatever it is. And as you said, they lack somebody to just push them in the right direction. And so for you, what is it like, not just dealing with the younger ones, but the older ones, to get into that space of being comfortable? Because there's the thing, there's almost, it's like they feel ashamed, right? It's like, no, well, I have a job or whatever. Why going back to further my education? But so what is it like to dealing with them? And then do you have a message out there for those that should do it?
Definitely. So with dealing with adults, the most important thing is creating a safe space. That space where they can be okay with making a mistake, where they feel okay with trying. Because once I get them in the space to try, they'll realize that, okay, they can do it. So getting their headspace right, because they on deck, their environment is their number one, like I would say, enemy. Because they might think that, okay, you know what, I'm too old for this. I'm too good for this. I don't need... You know what, forget all this.
Yeah, you're sure right.
But my message to every single adult who is possibly thinking about, you know what, I want to do better for myself, I want my life to be better, is don't wait. Like, now is the time. It doesn't matter what happened before. It doesn't matter what happened in your childhood. It doesn't matter that it got 0 passes. You want better for yourself now? Then give me a call. We are here. We will help you. We will create that safe space for you, where you can go from strength to strength. It doesn't matter if you are at level 0 and you didn't do math in 45 years. We will take you to the point where you're like, oh my gosh. And I'm promising you, investing in yourself is worth it. So come today and make that investment.
Yeah, that's awesome. So even as we wrap up, guys, I want to thank Antonio. But Antonio, before you go, what is a message you have to the young ones out there who are struggling right now in school? There are those that are struggling in school. They're struggling with dealing with bullies. They're struggling with their education. They're struggling with fitting into the environment, or even they're standing out of the environment. And, they're doing something where they're kind of reacting to teachers, and we know how it is when we were in secondary school, right? So do you have a message to those ones to get them to be in a place to understand that everything is going to be okay?
I do. I have a message for you guys. I need you to remember 3 letters. 3 important letters. G-O-D. See, God will take you to every single obstacle that you are facing. There's nothing that I can say because I do not know your situation exactly. But turn to God. Let him give you the wisdom and the guidance to navigate through your situations. And before you know it, you would be placed in a situation. Things will just start to appear. Whether it might be if you're lacking a good friendship group, you might just pray to God, and before you know it, hey, how are you? Your worst enemy might become your best friend. You might never know that, hey, a teacher might just call and say, hey, you, I see how amazing you are. Come and do this. Come and do that. But it all starts off with God. Stop trying to figure it out for yourself and turn to the one with all of the answers.
Jeez. Awesome. I feel, listen, I need some prayer. I need to pray. I feel better just hearing that. So imagine how you feel right now. All right, don't worry, everything is gonna be okay. Completely fine. Antonio, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an awesome time. I'm glad to get out some of your testimony. And don't worry, you'll be back.
Yes,
you'll be back. Because I know there's much more to share. Listen, I know it's just is a treasure box there. And we just see a little bit. We just get a little glimpse. A little snippet of what's inside. All right, guys, please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. And please leave some comments below. We want to hear how this impacted you. And we will have the information for his academy in the link in the description, as well as I'll have it up on the screen there right now. Okay, so God bless. Take care. Bye-bye. And clear.